So y'all probably heard about that China that's saying that everything made in China, like those Louis Vuitton, and it says made in Italy or France or whatever. Now China is claiming some Chinese people in China claiming that they're all made in China. And I was thinking about, I was like, I don't know about that. But a lot of people are believing it. They are believing it. I heard people saying that, you know. So I don't know.
China is pumping out videos claiming that all of the world's luxury goods come out of China. They're going viral, and it's
Yeah,
not an accident.
yeah. And I'm gonna link the video. Uh, you can watch the whole thing from China Observer. I think this is China Observer. Yeah, I think so. Uh, but I'm gonna pause it from time to time to just make my commentary. But this is nothing new. I mean, China is really good when it comes to propaganda. You know, uh, to their own people. You know, people that don't like America to begin with. They're gonna believe this. They're gonna believe everything that they say. Because see, look, especially the anti-Trumps and liberals. You know, so it's good to have um this sense of like the taking everything in a grain of salt, like me. When I hear something, I'm like, I don't know about that. Let's figure things out. Let's figure things out. um Look it up, do your research, not just believe the things that you hear every single day. It's like, oh, I saw it in the internet, it must be true. Or I saw it that President Trump said it, or I saw that President Obama said it. I mean, come on, guys. It could be like, first of all, AI nowadays, right? AI, it's so good that you can't even tell the difference between the real and AI generated content. Mm, good coffee. So, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and watch this.
When China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. There's a new video trend on social media
Yeah.
coming out of China in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs, and it's everywhere.
Who are the suppliers behind the Lululemon?
Did you know who actually manufactures for Sephora? Let me reveal the key Chinese suppliers for you.
Who are the suppliers behind the Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, la 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 la? First, Baocheng Factory, one of the world's largest OEM sports shoe manufacturers.
For the past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world.
All right, so this is all just claims, right? They claim that they are the OEM. They're the true makers of Nike. They're the true makers of, I mean, to some point, maybe to some brand, yeah. But I think the propaganda is, I think they're trying to win people's heart or people's opinion on this. It's because of the tariff war, and yeah. But listen, just pay close attention to what they're saying. Okay, pay close attention.
Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it.
These videos claim to offer information on the Chinese suppliers behind many of the world's top luxury brands, and some of them even go beyond that.
Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here it only costs you $6 to $5 with similar fabric and quality. If you want to get in touch with
fake,
suitable
though.
sportswear suppliers,
See what she's saying? She's just probably using the name Lululemon and saying that, hey, this type of thing sold by 3M, I can make you the same thing. If you buy a 3M product, it's probably going to cost you $10, but I can make you and charge you just 10 cents. Same thing. They're claiming it's the same thing, same product, same material, and everything like that. So I think what they're doing is they trying to take that, trying to take Lululemon's customers away from them. But the thing is, it's not Lululemon. It's the brand that you're paying for. You know what I mean? It's not Lululemon. Might be looking like it. So you're faking the product. You're making a copy, a replicate. That's what they are trying to do. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Supplier, contact with me. I'm Rosie from Yiwu, China.
Rosie.
These videos are careful not to outright say it, but many imply strongly that they are
see
selling
Tony.
not cheap Chinese knockoff brands, as are found on Alibaba or Temu, but
yeah.
the real thing from the real original factory, maybe minus the label.
But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us.
For example, take this video. It claims to explain the real cost of an Hermes Birkin bag.
Yeah.
Although it's very careful to never actually say that their bags are actual Hermes bags.
Bingo.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory?
But Hermes bags aren't made in a factory. They're made in a workshop in France.
That's all I know.
Meanwhile, the claim that Hermes bags cost $38,000 at a boutique is an outright lie. They cost a mere $12,000. In addition,
Still.
there's a matter of craftsmanship. This guy claims that his factory uses all the same materials as the makers of genuine Hermes bags.
See?
Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material, same leather, same hardware.
Okay, first of all, you're not Tony. Second of all, quit lying.
Same edge oil.
But even if we assume for one crazy moment that that's true, it doesn't account for how the bags are made, including, according to one knowledgeable netizen, special stitching that cannot be reproduced by mechanization, which is why they come from a workshop in France instead of a factory in China. A lot of people online saw this video and believed that this man was selling official Hermes bags that would have been made in a factory in China.
Again, missed information. This is what they got from that videos. They're saying that, hey, we are the original manufacturer. We are the one making this Hermes bags. So it was kind of to some, they think this, it's like a whistleblower kind of, oh, we're just putting it out there for the public to know because of tariff. It goes back, again, this thing goes back to blaming the Trump administration, blaming, anyone but them. Oh man, so let me read that real quick though. It says, Fuego, you clearly missed the part of this video in which he said the official Hermes bags are made in China by Chinese artisans and the craftsmanship is directed by the customers. It is the same exact bag made in the same factory by the same person using the same material, same technique. That they just don't have lighted tags and labels. Yeah, see, they want you to believe that. They want you to believe that.
Sent to France, slapped with a Made in France label and an Hermes logo, and then shipped to the US for sale. There's a reason they think that. Because the video that went the most viral of all was this one.
Have y'all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? Basically, he says most of the luxury brands we use every day are actually made in China, then shipped to Europe just to get rebranded and sold back to us at insane prices.
That's not what he said.
No.
In fact, that's not what any of these videos coming out of China are saying. And there's a reason for that. It would make them look terrible. As the Fashion Network pointed out, the videos raise important questions about confidentiality, specifically whether the featured factories have non-disclosure agreements with their international clients and how this public exposure could impact long-standing relationships between global brands and their manufacturers.
Yeah.
Any factory in China that claimed to sell actual name brand goods while undercutting their employer would be instantly left unemployed and most likely unemployable forever. So what is the point with these videos? It's probably not to sell inventory, since all of the products in these videos would be just as subject to tariffs as any other product coming out of China.
Hey, look at those
it
boats.
seems to have something to do with Trump's tariffs. Many of them were posted back in March after the first wave of tariffs on Chinese exports hit. And as the tariffs have increased, The popularity of these videos has also
I've seen that one.
skyrocketed, likely due to Chinese bot manipulation and the algorithms that are about as organic as a Twinkie. And they're working exactly as intended. Because the goal isn't to get Americans to buy these products directly from China. It's standard CCP psychological warfare. The goal is to make Americans feel ripped off by companies and shafted by their leaders.
Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchy.
You in China needs a revolution. You, the one that feeds those government and the oligarch. Come on, dude.
Won't ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crashed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit.
It's also intended to make Americans feel reliant on China.
Now, as the USA and its little European brothers are trying to refuse Chinese goods, don't you think luxury brands are not trying to move their OEM out of China? Yes, they did, but they failed because the OEM factories out of China, they don't have.
This guy is probably is either a millionaire or a really well off, business owner in China. I mean, they speak really good English. That's first, so they know how to conduct business. So that's what, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to they take that thing in their own will, taking it on own will to push propaganda. I don't know if there's maybe the government CCP maybe is behind that. I don't know. Who knows?
Good quality control, and they don't have as good craftsmanship.
Did
Really?
he just say that Chinese craftsmanship is better?
Oh, really? I mean, that's Taiwan. I mean, Taiwan's got a lot better craftsmanship than China. Taiwan won't even buy your crap.
Can I get that in writing?
3, they don't have any supply chain. They always have trouble getting leather or zippers or any accessories.
Meanwhile, China is the good guy that takes care of its people.
And yes, China made money,
Well, yeah.
but we used it to build roads, leave millions out
Really?
of property. Fund
guys
healthcare,
are-
raise living standard. We reinvested in our people.
Unfortunately, there are plenty of influencers around the world being completely taken in by this schlock.
They failed because they don't have the supply chain capabilities that China has, because they don't have the trade capabilities that China has, and also their artisans are not as good.
They're even claiming that Trump hats are made in China.
So, what are you really worried about?
Well, some of them, but the original one.
Come on,
was made
your
in America.
MAGA hat? That's made in China too.
No. Official Trump hats are union made in the U.S.
In the U.S., yeah.
These videos aren't just randomly going viral either. The CCP knows how to manipulate the algorithms on American social media sites with bots and paid shills. And ByteDance, which is closely tied to the CCP, still owns TikTok. Shut it down, Mr. President.
Shut it down.
Please. TikTok also refused to comment.
That's getting closer and closer. That's probably going to get shut down because with the tariff and all that. Trump and the U.S. is trying to get it from China, but China won't. I don't think they will budge. I think that's one of the things they want to hold on to, because a lot of people in America is using them. So
On the story. Imagine that. But for many U.S. citizens, what is being critiqued in these videos is nothing new. A lot of people
Right.
already knew about the slave labor in sweatshops, the poor quality of many of these goods, and that they were being ripped off. In fact, President Trump campaigned on this issue.
Yeah.
Twice.
That's why I
As
voted
this
for him.
ex-user pointed out, videos like these only show that maybe we can manufacture these products in the U.S. with living wages, and the companies will still make a profit. At the end of the day, cheap labor isn't the main issue here. The CCP, for its own benefit, has manipulated the world's free trade system for decades.
Yeah.
We did a video on that described it in detail, link below. Now, China's unfair trade practices are being challenged.
Yeah.
And their algorithm pushing propaganda strategy has as many holes in it as a cheap knockoff made in China. But this isn't the only psychological warfare propaganda tactic the CCP is using to warp your mind. Another one is that China is based. They don't make woke crap like companies in the West.
Yeah, they don't even let some of those gay parade and whatever nonsense they do in Hollywood now. It's all filtered. They're base.
I did a full episode on that exclusively on the China Uncensored website, ChinaUncensored.tv.
Yeah.
Click here to check it out.
They won't even allow any like transgender in military, anything like that.
Support on the website is what makes China Uncensored possible. And by subscribing to the website, you'll also get exclusive episodes like this, live streams, and more. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.
All right, Chris Chappell. That was a good segment. So, yeah, that was kind of, if you guys are wondering if it was true or not, that's, again, do your own research, but don't take my word for it. But anyway, until next time, keep it here, subscribe, and liked it, and share it, please. Thank you.